Yes, name is Akeel Gaines. I hail from Mays Landing, New Jersey. I've been there for over a decade now. Currently working as a full-time in the New Jersey Army National Guard as an active duty soldier. Been doing that for almost 18 years. I work as a senior enlisted advisor, so I deal with the 3Ps, policies, people, and procedures. I oversee all of the New Jersey National Guard when it comes to logistics. What else can I tell you about myself? I'm married, happily. I'm going on 16 years now. Got a couple kids too, a boy and a girl, one 14 and one 7. If we had more time, I'll tell you all about the 14-year-old, but we don't. And right now I am in cohort 5 pursuing my Ed.D. Prayerfully, I'll be finished in September. I want to finish before I'm 40. That's the plan. And I told my dip chair that, so sometime in the early fall I should be done. And that's a little bit about myself. I chose Stockton because the organizational leadership, when I was looking for a doctorate program, that's exactly what I was looking for, a program that deals with leadership, because that is my passion, and it's very enjoyable. I had a great experience. I'm having a great experience, but it was even better, I hate to say it, before COVID, because we were together and we were in person. This program showed me a lot about diversity of minds, diversity of leadership, diversity of thoughts, and I really enjoyed that, and having the collaborative opportunity when we were in person. And we were going through all of the academic, I call them courses, all the leadership courses, and we were together. I look forward to those weekends. I was away from my family, but I felt like I was being part of a new family and with my cohort in cohort 5, and we were really starting to gel. Now, it wasn't perfect, right? We had our issues, but the fact that we were together, I really enjoyed that part, because my master's degree was all online. Mm-hmm. So I almost forgot what it felt like to be in a classroom with other individuals. So when we came together with cohort 5 in this program, I was really excited that I was able to learn from other people, talk to different adults, right, in my life, and expand my network. And I learned a lot. So I had a fantastic experience, but unfortunately, it kind of fell off between COVID and then moving towards the dissertation phase, where you're kind of individual. It's just you and your dip chair.
Right.
We still don't share that, the camaraderie we had when we were in person. So that kind of fell off on that part. But if you ask me about the first 66% of my time, I had a good time because of the people I was around. Yeah, so I'm currently doing, my dissertation is on work-life balance and how it impacts senior leaders in the New Jersey Army National Guard. I originally started broad, and we wanted to seek that same concept, total Army, but that's too big of an approach. Mm-hmm. And then I also wanted to do it with just in the National Guard, but that was also too big. So I just honed in on senior leaders. And in the Army, we have a certain rank structure, and at a certain rank structure, you are considered a senior leader. So I even broke it down to that degree, only so I could get as much as I can in the time that I have to do my dissertation. So it's on work-life balance, and it came from lived experience. It came from me not having work-life balance, and I read an article. I'm gonna start changing my verbiage. It should be life-work balance, because sometimes when you just naturally saying it, people gravitate to work first. Mm-hmm. And we're trying to shift that to be the other way around, or to get a management, to manage the spread between the two, not always 50-50. But it's an approach for me to go and interview senior leaders, which I did in my organization. I interviewed about 7 of them. Small sample size, but again, that's what I had to work with based on the time that I have. And how work-life balance impacts and affects senior leaders and their ability not only to lead themselves, but to lead their subordinates. And also how that impacts their subordinates. Because what we found out is that a lot of times when the way the leader goes, subordinates go that same way. So if a leader continually, they work all the time, they focus on the mission, not a lot of time for their family, the subordinates likewise will think that's what they have to do in order to quote unquote please their leadership. So it's a lose-lose in that perspective. So what I wanted to do is interview and get some research on that within the actual organization that I work in, and see how I can convert that into a curriculum and a course for future senior leaders, because we never had it. I never had a course that told me anything about life-work balance. Had to figure it out on my own and didn't do a good job with it. And many of us, through my research, do not. Mm-hmm. So the attempt is to gather the research through lived experiences, take it to the next level by creating a course that will help senior leaders in the future. So that's what my dissertation is about. So I'll break it down in two different ways for you, or two different phases. So the academic portion of the program, which we go through normal classroom work, which most of us are accustomed to. You do an assignment, you get a grade. I learned a lot of leadership concepts and philosophies in that first phase. I mean, they loaded us with all types of models and frameworks and opportunities for me to take that into my toolbox and to bring that into my organization and to lead. Because at the end of the day, regardless of your discipline, we're leaders of some aspect. Right. So all those tools that I was able to gain and skills in that first phase really helped me to become the leader that I am today, and still working on it. But it gave me some more tools that I can use in my everyday work area. Then there's the dissertation phase. Due to my research and researching that in my dissertation, I'm able to apply some of the terminology and some of the concepts learned through the research, not only in myself, but in my subordinates and other leaders that I work with. So because of the new knowledge that I was able to gain from both phases, it just made me a stronger leader, I believe, and I'm looking for more of that in the future, because I haven't implemented everything, because we're talking about over 3 years of information that I received. So I'm just excited and looking forward to the times where I can use some of those tools and skills throughout the rest of my career and just life in general as a leader. I would say that one of the main concepts that I learned throughout this process is emotional intelligence. And I've done a lot of self-reflection throughout this process, and I believe that alone really prepared me to become a better leader and change my perspective. Also, I've been doing this since I was 20. Mm-hmm. So I really don't have any other work experience but the military. So with that time in one organization and one discipline, you start to get culturally affected, and you see things through the view and the eye and the perspective of the military. And because of the different perspectives that was provided through the instruction, I was able to expand my perspectives, and I think that also helped me to become a better leader, because I'm seeing it through the lens of more than just the military, but all around leadership. Because we had people we had a lot of educators in there. That's a whole bear by itself from what I understand. We had police in there, so just different types of disciplines in there, business owners that are allowed to add to what I already brought to the table as a leader, and to just become a better leader just listening. I mean, I think that's another good point. Just listening to all the stories that we heard while we were in class just helped me say, well, as a leader, I won't do that, mm-hmm. which also makes you a better leader when you hear stuff that you don't want to repeat as a leader. So between all those elements, I just think I just became a better leader because of those things that occurred. I think I would say, if I had to give some advice, don't fear not when if you want to enter the program. Yes, at first, hearing 3.5 years or Dr. Sweet said 3 years or one semester of coursework and dissertation could be kind of daunting. But I would say to them, if they're willing and able, and one key thing, if you have the time. Mm-hmm. Because time allocation is very important when you're dealing with a doctorate level program. Your expectations are a little higher than you were as a bachelor's and in your master's. I would say if you don't have proper time allocation, then I would think twice. But be prepared to get yourself allocated with work life, right? Because you're going to have work, you're going to have family, then you're going to have to work on a lot of papers and dissertation and coursework while you're in this program. So I would just tell anybody that's looking to come in, prepare yourself, make sure you allocate your time properly, and fear not. It's not bad. It's a great program, and as long as they have their personal lives situated, they'll learn so much from the other perspectives and a lot about themselves. So I would tell them to go for it.